Y'all ready to be history?
Get started.
Welcome
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
to the Pro Audio Suite.
These guys are professional. They're motivated.
Thanks to TriBooth, the best vocal booth for home or on-the-road voice recording. And Austrian Audio, making passion heard. Introducing Robert Marshall from Source Elements and Someone Audio Post, Chicago. Darren Robbo Robertson from Voodoo Radio Imaging, Sydney. Tech to the VO Stars, George the Tech Whittam from LA. And me, Andrew Peters, voiceover talent and home studio guy.
Line up, learner!
Here we go.
And welcome to another Pro Audio Suite. Thanks to TriBooth, your get out of jail card if you want to travel. And Austrian Audio, making passion heard. This week we're talking about being on the road and how small your kit could be.
There you go. There's his road case in his
I love it.
Austrian Audio headphone bag.
What's in the sack? Show us what's in the sack.
Okay, so I've got a shotgun mic in the bag. I have some Audio Technica E50s, I think they are, E50 in-ears. I have a bunch of leads, of course.
Nice.
Pod thing.
Yep.
Which is great because if you're in the car, you just wrap that around the steering wheel or around the back if you're sitting in the back of the car. And then I have a Mic Port Pro.
Oh, look at you.
Which you discovered.
Passport, right?
You discovered the right combination of cables
Uh-huh.
Yes.
to get that to work on your iPhone.
Well, see, with the iPhone 15, it's a USB-C.
Oh, you have the iPhone 15? Oh, you show
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, I know.
But it's great. And I record
know.
on the... I can record
You know what?
on
I
it
have
with
buyer's
Twisted
remorse because I bought the iPhone 14 Pro on a refurb to save a little bit of dough. But honestly, looking back,
Look what I'm still on.
you're rocking is that an 8?
7. Oh, actually, it's a 6.
7?
It's a 6S.
I'm on an 11.
You're on
You're
11.
You're on a
great. I have an
6?
11.
6S, yeah.
Well, George, you remember when I was pushing the iPhone 5? How long did I push that iPhone 5 for?
Quite a while.
I pushed it
Wasn't
until
all
the
cracked?
battery swelled up and pushed the glass off the top of the thing.
It
It didn't
just
crack.
open?
It just
Yeah.
it just like opened itself.
Yeah.
Like the,
Yeah, I know.
the glass
We had
was
one of those
literally
that do
off.
that to us years ago. Yeah.
That's
You
impressive.
get up in the morning and they're just like thing. It's just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Great
Well,
iPhone
to
lump.
explode and cause a fire.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like
Well, you know,
there's two things. There's taking the expanded bottle of milk out to the garbage, and then there's taking the laptop battery that's expanded out to the garbage as well.
Similar.
Like,
Similar.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
right. Do you know the interesting thing about the phone, though, which I'm sure I'm so late to the party on this, but using Twisted Wave, and I was trying to get Hightail to work on the phone, and it's rubbish. It just doesn't work. I can't get files in there. But I'd forgotten that if you go to, when you've done a file with on Twisted Wave on your phone, you can actually send it from the phone, and it creates a link. So you just put it into an email or whatever you want to do and send it. And
well,
there's
yeah,
a link
Twisted
that gets
Wave
sent to
has
the
like
person.
a WeTransfer-ish thing built into it, doesn't it?
Correct. It's really good.
Yeah, I really love that he did that.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And, he didn't do it because I think he really felt it was important. I mean, I don't think he wanted to do it. What am I trying to say? He had to do it because the way iOS is, everything is sandboxed. Everything's in its own little file system. They don't have a common unified file system. They have like a Files app now, which kind of emulates that a little bit, but not really. But everything's separated. So him doing that, it made it far more likely you were going to be able to get your file to where it needed to go, including FTP. Because I think it even has an FTP client for sending files.
Oh, that's
if I'm not
cool.
Yeah, well,
mistaken.
the good thing is, I mean, I'll just send the link to whoever, and if it's a big session and it's on a phone, I can't send it as an email directly because if the thing's over like 10 meg, it won't send. But this, I can do a whole session on the phone and then just send the link to the person. They can download off a Twisted Wave site as opposed to me trying to send a massive file. It's a great
Right.
idea. I love it.
Yeah, makes
Yeah.
sense.
No, it's really cool. So so we were talking about iPhones and versions of phones and how I'm jealous. I really do kind of wish that I did, like, instead of, I was kind of, on a little bit of a budget. So I was like, you know what, I'll get the older one, but I wanted the 3 lenses. I wanted to be cool and have the third lens, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I kind of wish I just got the iPhone 15 standard, just save a little money. So I'd have that USB-C port, because that USB-C port changes everything on an iPhone. It's now a normal USB-C device, and that's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a standard USB-C to USB cable, no adapters, no camera kit, and you're ready to go, right?
Sure. Makes
Correct.
sense.
I got a camera kit thing, adapter, whatever you call it, Thunderbolt thing for the iPad because that's old. If I wanted to use that while I'm traveling, but
my
as
daughter's
far as the
iPad's
phone's concerned,
USB-C.
Yes, the USB-C hit the iPad before the iPhone, actually, because they started with the iPad Pro. Then it trickled down to the iPad Air. And I think that's what has it. Maybe
But Apple's not admitting fault to using, like the Lightning was really a good idea.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we all learned that we were holding our phones wrong for a long time.
And
Remember that?
specific headphones that are Lightning headphones were a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, good idea for their bank balance, of course. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We all use Macs, but it doesn't mean we're not going to be critical about Apple's choices of how they do things.
No.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
brilliant. Well, I'm glad you have an ultralight kit that has pro quality sound. In fact, you did send us samples of that.
Yeah. And the good thing is, once I get the barrel, which is still in the mail, God knows where that is, probably on its way to Venezuela or something. Once I get the barrel, then I can use the CC8, plug it straight into the MicPort Pro or the Passport VO.
Passport VO. Let's be
Can
honest.
any of that be used for self-defense?
If you throw it hard enough.
Maybe.
I think I could leave a heck of a mark with the XLR jack on it.
You need like shotgun mic nunchucks.
Yeah, but you
Coming
could
up
actually.
next, I'll bash to the head.
This mic's pretty heavy. I could seriously bludgeon you with this. This is like the end of a 3-pound mallet. This mic. Maybe we can fly in the clip that you sent us. You sent us a clip of your rig in the car,
Yeah.
and then
I just wanted
Robbo,
to test it out.
That sounded pretty not carish, I thought.
it was pretty not carish.
Well, then AP and I have been working on some radio imaging stuff, and so I didn't do anything except for match the gain, and I threw it into the session that I'd been working on for him and just bounced it out audio only. And there's no artifacts. It's obviously got a shitload of compression on it for radio, and there's nothing that rears its ugly head from compression or EQ that makes you go, oh shit, missed that in the beginning. So yeah.
I was talking to Matt Calrick when he was in Australia a couple of weeks ago, and we were just talking about traveling and stuff like that. And he does a lot of sessions from his car, and it said it works perfectly. So that's when I thought, well, you know what? I've seen Joe Sipp do a session from the back of his car, and I'll give it a whirl and see what it sounds like. And I just sat in the back seat, and it sounded fine. I think the hardest thing was me getting in the back seat because it's a two-door car.
If you mess up the session, your car insurance will pay for it.
Yes, that's right.
Did you know about the one? You guys are going to kick out of this. This is completely off subject, but Geico got sued by a woman who got an STD because she was doing it in the back of a car, and it happened in the car, and the car was insured. $5 million.
No way.
What?
Look it up.
Get the
Yes.
out of
Yes.
here. Lawyers, attorneys are
Insane. Yes.
But hang on, is it the attorney's fault or is it the court's fault? Let's be honest. I don't think it's the attorneys. I think
For
it's the courts.
entertaining such BS.
If the courts go, yeah, you're
That's
right.
true.
Actually, here you go. Here's $5 million. Then whose fault's that? It's not the lawyer's fault.
It's
That's
the
very
jury
true.
who basically goes, all insurance companies are evil before we even get going.
Exactly. Just back on the recording in the car thing, though. We could go back. So we'd be going back to 1998 or 99. I was working at George Pat's, and we had Chevy Chase out here because he featured in a bunch of TV campaigns for an insurance company called AAMI. And obviously, to save money, they wanted to pack as much into each day as they could. So, in between shots on set, they were putting Chevy into one of the cars with a soundy and recording the radio, and it sounded perfect.
I got a spot where they had the announcer was on camera but had to do certain lines offline, and they did it in the car,
Yeah.
and it actually didn't work out so good.
Oh, really?
It sounded very much like a car, probably because they weren't close to them. You got to mic up close. You got to get right up on that mic, and you have to eliminate. It's like all about the signal to noise ratio. And if you're close to that mic, your signal is loud,
Yeah.
and the rest of the stuff is far away relative to the mic. You've change that.
Yeah.
But if you mic it from, I'd say even like 2 feet away, you're dead in the water in the car. You got to get right up.
Well, the
to
soundo that did Chevy was your favourite and mine, AP.
Oh, Chris.
Chris McCallum, yeah.
Yeah. The naked sound
The
man.
naked soundy. Yes, indeed.
Just because I can, I've got those clips queued up. Should I play them real quick?
Yeah, let's have a listen.
Sure.
Okay, so here's the raw right off the mic in the car, then the and then Robbo laying on the production.
Righto, this is a test from the car on the MicPort Pro, the iPhone 15. In the back of my car. It's bloody hot though, I'll give you that much. But I'm just curious to see how good it sounds. I think it's sounding all right. Anyway, see what you think. Righto, this is a test from the car on the MicPort Pro, the iPhone 15. In the back of my car. It's bloody hot though, I'll give you that much. But I'm just curious to see how good it sounds. I think it's sounding all right. Anyway, see what you think.
That was with the full suite of processing added. And then the last clip has no reverb at all.
Righto, this is a test from the car on the MicPort Pro, the iPhone 15. In the back of my car. It's bloody hot though, I'll give you that much.
Look at the difference in those waveforms.
What's hot?
I'm actually I'm really glad, I'm glad you did that, Robbo, because you make me a processing chain that sounds like my demo. And this is an extremely good example of why we never do that, or why I don't do that. I don't make a stack that sounds the way the audio would be processed when you take that and ISO it from the rest of a mix, because
especially for radio stuff.
Yeah,
right,
absolutely.
Like that processing in out of context, as you're hearing it now, is way over the top, right?
Yeah.
Because you're hearing it out of context.
That's right. Without music and sound
cool.
effects and all sorts of shit zipping around. Yep, absolutely.
Right. So it's kind of neat to hear it in that way, because we don't normally hear that. We would either hear a raw track, maybe something with a little compression, or full production.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of a neat little sidebar thing. I think that was cool to hear.
I can give you the chain if you want. It's like, it goes.
I don't want to know.
There's like,
you can tell everybody else. I don't want to know.
Two compressors. There's two compressors, an EQ on the track, and there's something else on the track. I can't remember. There's something else a bit of distortion. And then it goes to the bus, and on the bus is a limiter and a bit of fresh air. And there was something else on the bus as well for AP on that. And then off from there out to the wet one has a reverb, which I think was the Waves, one of the Waves reverbs. And then there's a modulation on a separate track and a bit of a slap delay.
Yeah, so, let's just make it pretty clear to the voice actors out there. Do not send your audio sending it sound like that.
Don't.
Yes, exactly.
No.
That's never a good idea.
And the reason I did it was because the only reason I thought it was interesting is because once you can sort of go, yeah, it sounds good. But then when you put it through some massive processing like that, you go, holy shit, listen to it now. But it held up. It was great.
Yeah, you got a little bit of bass buildup, reflex, because you're in an enclosed cabin, and that's what they do. They build bass.
You got all that glass around you too. That's right.
And then on top of that, you have the proximity effect because you're probably close up to the mic as well.
Yeah.
That's why I'm curious to see how this, once I get that barrel thing, I'll try out the CC8, because I think the CC8 will compensate for that boxiness of the car. And I also think sitting in the back seat is probably not such a bad idea either.
Backseat Barbie.
What are you going to do with that thing in the back seat?
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny, when you add the barrel to the CC8, it'll be about the size of a shotgun.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah. Should be good. I'm just hope it gets here in time.
It's going to look cool too to have that silver end to it.
The aesthetics are so important. If it looks good, it is
exactly.
good.
That's the one.
Sounds good is, well, I don't know. What equipment did you use?
If it sounds good, well, it depends. What gear
what
are
did you
using?
record that with? It sounds good, but I don't know.
Do you remember that time I
looks
sent
good.
you guys the Yeti inside a chaotic eyeball?
I remember
Yes,
that
that's
episode.
right.
Wow.
Yeah, and it sounded good, right?
Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah.
what the hell's how can the
That's
two worst
one of
things on earth sound good
yeah,
together?
two wrongs make a right. It's the first and only time. Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what the case was. Two wrongs made a right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that was fun. Is it over?
The Pro Audio Suite with thanks to TriBooth and Austrian Audio. Recorded using Source Connect. Edited by Andrew Peters and mixed by Voodoo Radio Imaging with tech support from George the Tech Whittam. Don't forget to subscribe to the show and join in the conversation on our Facebook group. To leave a comment, suggest a topic, or just say g'day, drop us a note at our website, theproaudiosuite.com.